Hello YouTube, Ben here with my first video of all time. I might come back in years to come and look at this video with horror, or I might pack it in after 3 videos and realise that YouTube fragrance videos aren't for me. Either way, here I am. I thought I've watched enough tens upon hundreds of hours of other people's YouTube reviews. It's time for me to join the YouTube fragrance community and maybe add in my own 2 pence. Why the name fragrances come in threes? Well, currently I don't feel confident enough that I can take up so much time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes talking about one fragrance. So I thought I'd pick 3 to talk about for each video and see how that goes. So I had a very quick Google how to do YouTube videos on a laptop. So I've just used QuickTime. So forgive me if this is low quality, bad lighting. I'm not even at the level where I'd know necessarily whether this is a badly put together video or not. But without further ado, let's have a look at the 3 fragrances I've picked to give my brief thoughts on for video number 1. I've picked one cheap-ish designer fragrance, one moderately priced niche, and one what I would classify as high-end niche. Let's have a look at the first one. This is Uomo by Moschino or Moschino. Any Italian listeners out there can correct my pronunciation. Funny story about this one. I bought it as a gift for my boss for Christmas last year, and just at the last minute I bottled it and thought it's a bit weird to give your boss a fragrance out of the blue for Christmas. So I actually hung on to it myself and opened it up on Christmas Day, even though it was meant to be for someone else. Yeah, what do I think about this one? Just smelling it out the cap, it reminds me of some kind of shaving or shower gel product that my dad either uses or used to use when he sort of had that kind of fresh, clean smell when he came out the shower. If I spray it on skin, spray as crap on the 30-40ml bottles. I've noticed that with various designer bottles in the small form, really bad spraying action. I think it gets better with the larger bottles, but so you end up spraying like crazy trying to get a decent jet of fragrance out and end up overspraying sometimes, but whatever. I think the opening for this is my favourite part. It's got a kind of creamy, fresh, lemon, zesty opening. Potentially boring, sure, but also better than what comes after it, which is a really horrible, musky dry down. I still don't really exactly know what musk smells like, but I bought my mum Bal d'Afrique by Byredo for her birthday last year, and smelling the dry down on that smells a lot similar to the dry down on this. I know both have musk listed as notes. I find it faintly nauseating, the dry down. It's hard to describe, but it's just this kind of plain, clean musk that I also find, frankly, a bit feminine. Could say unisex, but just doesn't work for me. I've tried spraying this out the shower as a kind of just fresh, clean scent that will just give me a bit of a pep after having a shower, but frankly, it stays for too long and nauseates me as the hours go by, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find much use for this going forwards. I might be able to re-gift it to my boss. It doesn't actually look like I've used that much of it, so maybe I can repackage it and try and take the cellophane back together and give it to him next Christmas. Okay, let's go for number 2. This is the moderate niche one that I wanted to cover. I wanted to kind of do a range of things from one end of the spectrum to the other, and this is soda from the reissued synthetic line from Comme des Garçons, which has interesting similarities with this one because they both have that kind of fresh, lemony, clean thing, but this does it much better. If I have a sniff out the cap, this is meant, the Comme des Garçons synthetic line is meant to have scents which in some way mirror or reflect modern urban life. So this is meant to be like a can of soda or fizzy drink in the UK, straight out the vending machine. I don't know if it's aldehyde, but it's got something in it that sort of has that kind of effervescent quality. So it's not smelling this. That's just kind of like a fairy liquid, like dishwasher washing up liquid lemon on that sort of horrible synthetic flat. This, on the other hand, although synthetic, hence the name, high quality synthetics, gorgeous, like a Sprite or a 7-Up. I'm not getting much use out of this in winter currently because it just dies on the skin fairly quickly. But I think for the urbanite, the Londoner, you know, on a hot summer's day, you don't want something cloying, you don't want something hot. You're going to get on the tube, you're going to get on the bus in the morning to go to work. A few spritzes of this, you know, it's not going to choke anyone out on the bus, on the tube. It's just going to have a nice, fresh, kind of popping lemon scent. I have had thoughts with this that is it just marketing and Comme des Garçons that it's again a fairly plainish kind of lime lemon scent, but because of the amazing packaging and sort of the cachet that comes with a brand, is that what's influencing me? But I do genuinely think this is a cut above your average citrus scent, and maybe I'll give some more thoughts on this when I get some more wearings out of it in the summer, which currently, considering it was snowing today, it seems far away, but you know. And finally, I have picked for my third scent Deby by Guerlain from the Les Parisiens line, which I believe is mainly repackaging, reissue, reinterpretations of things that have already existed in the Guerlain line. I have to say that my Guerlain journey so far has been a rapid one, from basically not being interested in it at all. When you're into designer fragrances, it doesn't get much talk. You know, the odd mention of L'Homme Idéal, and some of the flankers, Sport, Cologne, etc. I sniffed a few of them, they're okay. And then no one really mentions the sort of exclusive line. I don't know if that's because of price or availability. Certainly in the UK, there, to my knowledge, is sort of in the official online realm, zero availability for the for anything from the exclusive line. So I had to go to Harrods to pick this one up. I hadn't smelt it before. I'd heard sort of legendary things about the vintage. So I haven't smelt the vintage. Hope to one day. But I gave it a sniff. They were really friendly at the Guerlain counter. Really liked it. Sprayed it on myself. I said I'll come back in 10-15 minutes. I'll walk around. If I like it, you know, I'll buy it. And thought it was really nice fragrance, so went for it. I think it's £175 for the 100ml. Really like the presentation as well in the wood frame. Nice yellow juice here. What I would say is that as I was buying it, I was aware that it was kind of dying on me even after sort of half an hour, and I was kind of hoping that because I was in a big perfume hall, just the kind of heat and the noise and all the other fragrances were kind of, you know, burning my nose, tiring my nose out. And Unfortunately, it doesn't last an awfully long time on me. I have decanted some of this into a 10 milliliter, vial for when I'm, after work and I want to spray it, because it wouldn't last the whole work day. I've worn it for work and it's kind of dead by the end of the day, which is a shame. But then I've also come around to the idea that I think Guerlain is one of those, with the exclusive line especially, it's kind of a classy perfume. It's kind of, you want to wear it close, and then, you don't want to spray it 5, 6 times because that's defeating the point of it. It's meant to be a classy thing. Someone might get an odd, pick up just a bit of it if they get within, this sort of range of you. But otherwise, you don't want. This isn't the kind of thing anyway that you'd want to be sort of throwing out there. 5 meters in front of you or behind you. What do I get out of smelling this? I get slightly old-ish smell that I've come to love. I can't quite put my finger on it, but again, sort of bathroom smells, like something in my grandparents' bathroom, some kind of slightly pissy, sort of yellow, brings to mind sort of yellow, pissy sort of flower smell that I actually think is really beautiful, and I've come to enjoy. Leather, possibly like the softest leather possible. Fragrances often summon up textures for me, and I get a kind of suede almost, or like very, very soft leather with this, again as texture rather than smell almost. And I get sort of honey sweetness in the background, which I also really enjoy. I got my friend George to smell this, and he said he absolutely hated it and thought it was disgusting and smelled like his grandma. I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully, maybe do a bit of a more in-depth thoughts video on that later in the year. But I believe I've been running for 12 minutes, which is more than I expected to do for a first video. So I will leave it there. Any comments down below, I will endeavour to reply to them. My name's been Ben. This has been Fragrances Come in Threes, and thank you for watching.